David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the breaking news as we come on, the chilling new images, the engine coming off the plane. This is moments before the crash in Louisville, killing 14 people. Authorities now pointing to these dramatic new images tonight showing the plane's final moments. Also tonight, the president calling several Democrats in Congress, most of them veterans, traitors in a post. Then in another saying this is punishable by death, after they put out a video telling service members that they can refuse, quote, illegal orders. Tonight, the White House is asked, given the president's words in these posts and in this environment, does the president want to execute members of Congress? How the White House answered. Tonight, two suspects labeled domestic terrorists after an immigration crackdown accused of ramming into Border Patrol officers. Now the defense says the officer swerved into one of them before opening fire and then appearing to brag about the shooting in text messages that followed. Tonight, the president has signed the Jeffrey Epstein bill into law. The clock has begun 30 days now to release the files. Tonight, even some Republican members of Congress warning against any potential attempts to slow this down. Tonight, the images of that 18-year-old girl, her body being carried off a Carnival cruise ship. The investigation now after a source says she was found wrapped in a blanket and under life vests. What we've now learned in this case tonight. The flash flood emergency at this hour and the potential storm system that could disrupt Thanksgiving week travel. Lee Goldberg is standing by with our first look at the Thanksgiving forecast. The major fire erupting at a climate change conference. The images tonight, people running to safety. The high-speed chase for a murder suspect accused of killing two brothers, two teenagers. The suspect reaching speeds of 117 miles per hour, what officers had to do. The daring effort to save a shark. At one point, you'll see the image. One rescuer reaching his arm right into the shark's mouth. What they were trying to do. Tonight in Washington, the funeral for former Vice President Dick Cheney, a rare moment of warmth between members of both parties and what former President Bush said about his VP. And America Strong tonight, 1 week now before Thanksgiving, and Deborah Roberts is here with one extraordinary effort to put dinner on the table and how you can help.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with these chilling new images now released of that deadly crash, the engine coming right off the plane moments before it went down in Louisville, killing 14 people. The NTSB tonight releasing harrowing photos of the plane's final seconds. Flames seen coming from the left wing as it leaves the runway. You can see the engine breaking apart, that engine clearly separating from the wing. The fire spreading, the pilots unable to abort takeoff at this point. That UPS plane crashing just seconds after takeoff. Mola Lenghi leading us off tonight with these new images.
Tonight, the NTSB revealing horrifying frame-by-frame images. The clearest look yet at the moment the left engine broke off a UPS cargo plane wing as it took off from Louisville Airport and then exploded. Airport surveillance photos show the plane taking off with the engine intact. Then, the engine breaks away and snaps upward, erupting in flames that spread to the rest of the plane. Flight 2976 never got more than 30 feet off the ground before it crashed into a petroleum recycling plant and a scrapyard. 14 people, 3 crew and 11 on the ground, were killed. The trail of destruction half a mile long. The NTSB recovering these crucial parts of the plane from the scene, now zeroing in on the 34-year-old MD-11's left pylon, the component that attaches the engine to the wing, reporting they found evidence of fatigue cracks in addition to areas of overstress failure.
We do know that the aircraft underwent some maintenance 2 weeks prior where they were supposed to look at this area, but you can't always visually identify these kinds of fatigue cracks. They're very, very fine and often takes an X-ray machine to find them.
The NTSB, Boeing, and the FAA grounding all MD-11s, MD-10s, and DC-10s while they investigate whether the problem is widespread. Investigators also noted similarities between this disaster and the 1979 Chicago crash of American Airlines Flight 191, a DC-10 that killed 273 people just after takeoff.
Well, David, as the crash investigation continues, a final report from the NTSB is expected in 18 to 24 months, David.
Mola Lenghi leading us off here tonight. Mola, thank you. Tonight, the White House dialing back President Trump's own words today. The president calling several Democrats in Congress, most of them veterans, traitors in a post, and then in another post saying this is punishable by death. after they put out a video telling service members they can refuse, quote, illegal orders. The White House was asked, in this environment, what is the president suggesting? Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, President Trump criticized by members of both parties after calling 6 Democratic members of Congress, quote, traitors, and accusing them of seditious behavior punishable by death. It came in response to video released by the lawmakers, all of whom served in the military or in U.S. intelligence.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
In the video, the lawmakers reminding members of the military they should not obey illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
The lawmakers did not specify which orders they were talking about, but the president enraged, posting a flurry of messages on social media saying they should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand, adding, an example must be set. The president then writing, seditious behavior punishable by death. And he reposted a message from another account that said, hang them. George Washington would. Democrats accusing the president of inciting violence.
This puts all of our lives in jeopardy, right? What are we all doing right now? Democrats in Congress are on the phone with their chiefs of staff, beefing up our security for this weekend and next week, because the president has a lot of unhinged supporters out there.
Republicans clearly uncomfortable.
The words that the president chose are not the ones that I would use, okay? Obviously, I don't think that these are crimes punishable by death or any of that, okay?
Republican Senator Rand Paul was blunt.
That kind of rhetoric isn't good and stirs up people among us who may not be stable, who may think, well, traitors, what do we do with traitors? That's a death penalty. Maybe I'll just take matters into my own hands, which is not something we should be encouraging.
At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked to explain.
Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to.
Leavitt saying the 6 Democrats are the ones inciting violence.
They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command.
I spoke with Congressman Jason Crow, a former Army Ranger who was in that video.
What would your message to the president be?
I don't do fear and intimidation well, and I'm not going to stop.
In that video, Democrats cited what they called threats to the Constitution, insisting that the Trump administration is pitting our military against American citizens, but they did not provide any specific examples. Congressman Crow telling me they felt the need to start a conversation after the president made what he called disturbing statements. David.
Rachel Scott live up on the Hill tonight. Rachel, thank you. We are tracking potentially life-threatening flooding in Texas at this hour. Heavy rain and flooding moving from Texas to the Ohio Valley. And our first look tonight at a system that could affect Thanksgiving week travel next week. First tonight, here are the pictures. The rising waters rushing through Menard, Texas, up to 9 inches of rain falling in some areas already. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg from WABC. Hi, Lee.
Hi, David. Torrential rain and now severe weather across central and east Texas. Some of the heaviest rain working from Austin to Dallas, even some severe weather near Waco with storms that can produce 60-mile-per-hour gusts. The flood threat extends all the way up to Missouri tonight. Now, tomorrow, that rain will extend to the Ohio Valley and the mid-Atlantic, but thankfully it gets lighter, could even arrive here in New York City later tomorrow night. There's a second flood zone. That's Southern California, Santa Barbara to L.A. again, and down to the desert areas. Flood watches through Friday evening for Palm